Listen, I've met Tom Hanks a couple of times, and he was very kind and very lovely, and his wife was exceptionally lovely. But when he was on Saturday Night Live...
I hated it too, and I said it on my show. I know.
What?
I hated it. Wearing the MAGA hat, not shaking hands with a black person.
Right.
And that's when I thought, you people don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with a black person. You're just hysterical, and you're not helping. And
nope,
I agree.
Not at all.
That was
deplorable squared.
Not.
Bill Maher is taking aim at woke Hollywood, and it's exploding into a full-blown firestorm. The sharp-witted comedian and late-night veteran has had enough of the preachy, holier-than-thou noise coming out of Tinseltown, and now he's firing back. His brutal shot at Hollywood favorite Tom Hanks sends a loud message: no one's untouchable in Maher's war on woke culture. And guess what? I've got every jaw-dropping moment lined up. First, the spark that set Maher off. Then, get ready for his scathing take.
If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
Oh, no.
like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You welcome in Black Jam at any time.
Oh, well, all right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it What Jeopardy?
Here's the story woke Hollywood tried slipping into everyone's brain: that MAGA fans and Trump voters are just loud, racist caricatures. It was polished, smug, and dressed up as clever comedy. When the clip dropped, the usual voices chimed in: relax, it's just a joke. If you didn't laugh, you were labeled boring or bitter. But here's what they always skip: comedy isn't harmless. Like movies, music, and media, it carries weight. It shapes opinions, fuels bias, and nudges the public mindset, especially when blasted through big platforms. Their game: mock half the country through satire, then hide behind the comedy card when backlash hits. But that trick's old now. Because if the punchline always hits the same group, Trump supporters, it's not a joke. It's messaging in disguise. It's bias with a laugh track. And recently, this exact issue sparked back up on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast. He saw the clip, and he wasn't laughing either. What he said next cut through the noise, and called out the real agenda behind it all. Get ready, here's what Maher had to say, and why it's blowing up across the internet.
Don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with a black person. You're just hysterical, and you're not helping. And
nope,
I agree.
Not at all.
That was
deplorable squared.
Not.
But that's how the far left plays the game: bend the truth, smear anyone who disagrees, and toss them aside without a second thought. They targeted Trump for years. Now it's J.D. Vance in the spotlight. And Tom Homan's taken hits too. It's never really about facts or fairness, just about pushing a message, no matter who gets dragged or what damage gets done. And sadly, Tom Hanks is marching right along with it. Some might say, he's just an actor reading lines. Don't take it personally. But let's be real, Hanks isn't some rookie hoping for a break. He's a Hollywood legend with more offers than he can count. If something felt off, he could have said no without breaking a sweat. But he didn't. And that decision says way more than any scene he acted out. When someone with his influence leans into a message like that, it's not just acting, it's alignment. And people are starting to notice.
As a liberal, I don't like it. Again, because lying offends me. I'm a comedian. When the premise isn't real, the joke is not going to work. The premise has to ring true. That premise doesn't ring true. It might have rang true, I don't know, X years ago. It doesn't now. So, but that's where we are. Everybody has to just play the hate card, because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets you loved by your sides.
Right, your side, 100%.
Yeah,
and there's safety there.
They just want to feel that, oh yeah, that's right. That he's
Yeah, that's right. The left has made bashing Trump into a full-time gig, and they've gotten really good at it. It's like their daily ritual. I clearly remember Trump's court trial. MSNBC lost its mind, running nonstop coverage like it was the political Super Bowl. That wasn't news, it was a show. Cameras followed him everywhere, from hotel doors to courthouse steps. It was over the top, weirdly obsessive, and honestly cringe. Their Trump obsession runs so deep, they truly believed this media frenzy would lock in an election win. They thought flooding screens with endless Trump clips, smug pundits, and cherry-picked soundbites would brainwash voters into turning blue. But here's the truth. Americans aren't that easy to fool. That media circus didn't hurt Trump, it exposed how desperate the left has become. And it made one thing crystal clear. While they're busy chasing ratings and rehashing grudges, the real issues that everyday people care about are getting ignored. And no one on the left seems to notice, or worse, they just don't care.
It reminded me of an abuser who goes back to a woman and puts on the mask. I'm charming. I'm totally loving. I will never hurt you. You can trust me. I get you. We're together. We're a partnership. But then as soon as the woman does something, it could be anything, to set him off, the veil comes down and you realize this has been someone pretending. This whole thing that's been wooing me in has been an act. And oh my God, I was almost fooled. Thank God I saw the moment of reality. That's what that thing was to me, because Saturday Night Live hates conservatives.
What Megyn Kelly's really calling out is this: Tom Hanks might not respect conservatives or the MAGA crowd at all. Which means all these years, he wasn't just acting on screen, he was playing a role off screen, too. The friendly, all-American guy, just part of the show. Now the mask is off, and we're seeing the real Hanks. No polish, no cover, and the disdain. He's not even hiding it. As for the network, let's not pretend they're neutral. They've picked a side. They're locked into the woke machine, pushing stories that divide, shame, and laugh at anyone who steps off script. So no, we can't act surprised by their bias. It's been obvious for a while. But Hanks, that stings. Because we actually thought he was different. We expected better. And that disappointment hits harder than anything the media throws at us.
Veil was down and we saw what they really think of all of us. Not just MAGA, but anybody on the right. They think you're a racist. They think you're all the ists. For all sorts of psychological reasons that we've gone into and don't need to here. But there was that piece of it. And then there was how deeply offensive it was for Tom Hanks in particular to participate in this skit. Tom Hanks, who started off on this stupid show called Bosom Buddies, which maybe it was ahead of its time, because it was about two men who dressed as women in order to get the living arrangements they wanted. So it was guys dressed, in sort of a drag. And he was hilarious, and he was a nobody, and it was a stupid show that made us fall in love with him because he was so...
That's exactly how the woke mob works. It drowns out logic, floods you with outrage, and drops you into a fantasy world where facts don't matter. One minute you're thinking straight, the next you're spitting out scripted lines and hating strangers just because it's the trend. That's groupthink. It doesn't just shift opinions, it scrambles your identity. And the worst part, they'll cheer as you wreck your own future. Just look around. Whoopi Goldberg constantly skating near cancellation. Sunny Hostin alienating half the country with tone-deaf takes. Drew Barrymore, once America's sweetheart, now a walking PR disaster. The woke mob loves you when you say what they want. But step off script or stop being useful. You're gone. No loyalty, no warning, just silence. It's a trap, and way too many still don't see it. They walk right in, thinking it's applause, until it turns into the sound of the door slamming behind them.
Thanks to a nation, of audiences that included those guys who look like that, with the t-shirt, without the sleeves, that are maybe a little rough around the edges, who aren't as coiffed as he is with the perfect 3/4 zip, sweater, with their MAGA hat on. And yeah, Tom Hanks, their southern rural accent, you absolute effing snob, went to your movies and made you a billionaire. And your thanks to them is to mock and belittle them in the 2 minutes you had to portray what they might be like. Shame on you.
Exactly. Tom Hanks let down every fan who loved his movies and respected the image he built over decades. He wasn't just another actor, he stood for something. A rare figure in Hollywood who seemed above the toxic political mess. But that image cracked the moment he joined in mocking MAGA supporters. That wasn't a script. That was a message, loud, clear, and painful for millions who once admired him. He doesn't get to brush this off as just acting or hide behind the role. He made a choice to be part of a narrative that insults half the country. And choices like that leave a scar. This isn't about being too sensitive, it's about being fair. We're not calling for him to be cancelled. That's not our way. We believe in dialogue, not takedowns. But make no mistake, we saw it, we heard it, and we won't just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, this is the big problem with that joke. President Trump assembled the largest coalition of black voters and Hispanic voters, and just kind of racially diverse voters generally, that any Republican has assembled in decades. Certainly in my lifetime. So that's the problem with the joke. It's not reflecting reality. And it's just so tired. The thing I really like about this sketch is it shows that Hollywood has learned nothing. I know that SNL is taped in New York, but the broader entertainment industry has learned.
Trump supporters come from all walks of life, different cultures, incomes, beliefs, and experiences, proving how much the GOP has grown in recent years. That old, lazy image of conservatives as one note or out of touch doesn't hold up anymore. It's outdated, it's wrong, and it's a reality the DNC still refuses to face. While Republicans are expanding their base to include blue-collar workers, small business owners, Hispanic voters, and suburban families, Democrats are stuck in the past, clinging to playbooks built on identity politics. Instead of meeting people where they are and addressing real-life problems, they're doubling down on elite messaging wrapped in woke buzzwords. This isn't the 90s. Voters are tired of being talked down to. They're not looking for lectures or empty gestures. They want results. And say what you will about the GOP, at least they're listening. The DNC, still trapped in its own echo chamber, talking to itself while the rest of the country moves on.
We just got our clocks cleaned. We lost an historic proportion of black voters, black male voters that we relied on, and Hispanic voters. We thought we could run really hard on the immigration issue, but it turns out almost half of Hispanics like Trump. We even lost a lot of young women under 30. Yikes. All right, let's just double down on exactly what we were doing. Republicans are racists. Actually, first we're going to make fun of Republicans being religious. We're going to make fun of Christians. That'll work. And then we're going to call our opponents racists. Because apparently the majority of Americans, including a lot of black and Hispanic people, are racist. Yeah, that's it.
The Democratic National Committee is staring down the edge of collapse. And honestly, that's nothing new. History has shown again and again no party, no matter how powerful or well-connected, survives when it forgets who it's supposed to represent. We've seen once dominant political forces, both here and abroad, fade into irrelevance after losing touch with everyday people. Now, the DNC is speeding down that same risky path. The truth, only Democrats themselves can stop this freefall, but it starts with one major move: cutting ties with the extreme woke fringe. As long as the DNC continues to cater to radicals, ignore working-class concerns, and silence anyone who thinks differently, they'll keep losing ground. If they want any shot at survival, they need to get back to basics. Real-world issues, real solutions, and a return to common sense. Enough with the echo chambers and performance politics. Voters are watching.